I'm been there, done that. We're with Podcast Junkies.
Been there, but I have not done it yet.
Yeah, well, this is you doing it.
I've been there doing that.
What's up, everybody? I'm Castro, and this is the Been There, Done That podcast. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Been There, Done That with your host, Castro. I am so excited for this episode. You have no idea. I've been preparing for this. I've been prepping for it. I've told all my crew nobody's allowed to record today because I need to get this guest on. But before we jump into there, this is the reason we're starting this Been There, Done That is not just to have amazing, cool guests on. I want to also showcase what they're doing and how they're becoming successful and how they're taking their projects, their ambition, all of that stuff and taking it to that next level. And so the whole principle of that Been There, Done That is going to do something that I have not done yet, you know? And then coming out and being like, wow, I've been there, done that, showing that we're capable of doing amazing things as humans. We can do so much. And, you know, you're only limited to what you limit yourself, right? If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can do that, you'll never get it done. So I'm going to take the first step of saying that I believe in you and that I believe that you can go and do what you want to do. Been there, done that, right? All right. So there's my little tips of the quick, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. You guys need to stay to the end of this episode because I got a little treat for you. You don't know what I'm just throwing that out there, a little treat, but you're not going to want to miss this. So today's guest didn't just witness the birth of digital art. He helped invent it. Guys, what does that mean? Do you even know what? I don't think you understand who I have next to me. A living legend. Long before Photoshop, NFTs, or even the internet. Lawrence, welcome to the show. I am so excited to have you here at the Been There, Done That. You are an amazing human being, but a living legend. And I'm honored to be in the presence of you right now. Thank you so much.
I just realized that I could actually turn to you and take a picture versus taking a picture off the screen, which I've been doing for 50 years. I take photos off the screen. And, I'm just realizing now, why during the whole thing I'm trying to get a good shot of you when I can just go like this and get a great shot. Come on.
You're so right. And I'm so excited that you're here. I told you from this, when we first met, I was like, this is my crew. This is my kind of guy.
Thank you so much.
The way you presented yourself, the way you greeted me, the way you even just you are for the people.
100%. I'm not pretentious. And I don't take this holier than thou attitude or anything like that. You treat people with respect. And, it gets you a long way. I make a lot of friends along the way that way, I have to say.
That would be the most, in my eyes, if you are just you make so many more connections. It opens up what do you get when you're being a mean, nasty old man? Right?
Not much.
Nothing.
Not much. A lot of people are arrogant and, they're just cranky. And, I guess the whole thing is, Ben, is that I'm still inventing in incredible ways. And I'm doing things that are incredible every single day. And that's how I get up. And, I saw something with Jerry Seinfeld actually talking about people who they wonder whether they like them, they don't like them. That thought never, ever entered into my mind at all. He's Jerry Seinfeld. He's worried about what people are thinking at this stage of his career and life. Are you kidding me?
That's huge. To even, again, it's hard to teach when you're younger and going through all these judgments and everything. But you get to a point where you're just, in my personal, I feel that yeah, people will judge you here, but at this, if I know I'm doing good in life, if I know that I've got a good heart, if I know that it doesn't matter. None of that matters.
No, it's not even a thought in my head. It's not even something I even consider or think about. I think about the only person that I have any kind of competition with, you know what I'm going to say, is myself.
Yep.
How do I top myself from the next thing that I just did? How do I get to the next level? What am I going to do next? And I keep doing it. I keep rolling with it. And the other idea is that I never do the same thing twice. And a lot of artists, of course, they arrive at a certain level of success and they want to keep that success and they want to keep the status quo and they want to keep that going and they keep doing the same thing over and over redundantly without ever exploring new horizons and new possibilities. So that really, like, I'm very enthusiastic. So I was stopped at the Palm Beach show, which is going on now at the Palm Beach Convention Center. And they stopped me to do a quick interview with me. And they said, like, what about, all this artificial intelligence stuff? What do you really like? I said, are you kidding me? It's the most exciting. And they were like shocked that I said
Really?
that.
Well, that was actually going to be one of my questions about artificial but let's hear it. What did you do?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I had my own custom software. I went to India to make a Bollywood film in 2005, and I had custom software written for me so that I could make things that have never been seen before. And that's 20 years ago. Wow. And the idea is that you always take on the next technological breakthrough. I've been doing it since 1975 and actually been in this book, which is called Artificial Intelligence and Robotics.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
The cover is just stunning.
It's stunning. Unbelievable. It looks like...
Could be my best work ever. And I have another piece that people can look up on the internet called Coney Island Baby, which was done in 1999. And that piece is extraordinary. And I believe that this one tops it, actually. Wow. So I bring that point up because right in the beginning of the book, on page, the first page, I will show you that I have what I consider, let's see, let's hold it up to that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is day one, hour 1, 1975. That's 51 years ago. This is made with the first minute, the first second, and I don't know why I photographed the screen, and I don't know even why I did that, but I knew whatever I was doing was important. And these are the first images ever that I ever created on an analog system computer in 1975.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, this is awesome. So let's go from there. So 1975 is when you first created this first digital art. All right.
Well, Yes.
What were you doing before this? Did you always have this artistic?
People say, when did you start being an artist? And I say, well, it really, I used to say I crawled out of my crib at 2 years old and I outlined my mother in lipstick. And that's on the back of my first book called Laurence Gartel, A Cybernetic Romance. And that book was authored by the video guru Namjoon Paik, who was like the biggest video artist around the world. He really brought video art into the vanguard and is really heralded as somebody who is a true pioneer of that medium. Anyway, I had met him at Media Study where this work was created, and he said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I was sitting in the back of a classroom watching Charlie Chaplin Modern Times, and I was wondering if I could take a still off of the moving image that the teacher was projecting and So someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, "We have a place that you can do that." And I said, "I don't even know what I'm doing, but come to Media Study Buffalo in downtown Buffalo at 8 o'clock on a Friday night." It was like the worst neighborhood in the world, but I said, "What the hell? I'm going."
Might as well, take the opportunity.
Take the opportunity. So I met Namjoon Pike, and Pike said to me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm photographing the screen." He goes, "You're photographing the screen?" I said, "Yeah, I want to capture the image because I believe that this electronic imaging could potentially replace painting as a genre." And he said to me, "You're a crazy man." And I took that as the greatest compliment. I said, "You're calling me crazy?"
And you were what? You were like, what, 7? 19? That's
19 years
a
old.
legend telling you, like,
A legend telling me.
you kidding me right now? What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I have to say that 13 years later, he wrote the introduction for my first book, which stands as the first book on anyone's computer art. It's the first monograph on anyone's work.
That's unbelievable. What a full circle.
What a full circle.
With him. And I'm sure he was,
Yeah.
he was probably like, he was eating his words.
Well, you know what? It's like he handed me the baton. He said, "You're the next guy."
Oh,
You know,
wow.
it was more like that. And when he said he said, "I really admire Laurence because he creates these things and it's cash and carry." He liked that.
That's good.
what he called it.
That's good.
He
Cash
said,
and
he
carry.
makes things. I put stuff on T-shirts. I mean, I was a kid. I was trying to support myself, so I did all sorts of stuff, and he loved that.
And so what I was going to say, you're around people that are creative and have these creative ideas and think outside of the box. But at that time, that wasn't
It wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
No, that nobody had a computer.
Yeah.
You have to understand. This was only at this facility. The other facility I went to was 5 years later at the Ampex Corporation out of San Francisco, because John Madden from football was showing how to make an X and Y and how the players would run a play, and he was able to live draw on a video screen and then hit a button, and they had an 8x10 Polaroid, which was like $75,000 and spit out a print. And I got myself to Ampex, and I had 20 minutes on the machine, and I wrote this whole article, like 8 pages for Millimeter magazine, and that was like the industry standard for filmmaking and film production magazine, and that allowed me to go wherever there might be a computer and say, "Listen, I'll write an article about your stuff. Give me access to your machine."
Wow.
Because everything was like $500 an hour.
Wait, so you're telling me right now, Laurence, you were basically one of the first influencers too, technically, because if you're going and you're like basically reviewing their place, and now everybody goes into, "Oh, I've got millions of followers. Let me get a sandwich for free because I can give you a food review."
Yeah,
That's so you are the first.
I would say.
Of the digital art, you were the first of influence, like
100%.
And I don't know if that's something that has, but sitting here right now, you are, in my eyes, the first person that actually took influencing and brought it globally.
I'll give you another example. So I was and this is in the 80s, right? I was the person for the CEPS show, and that was the Computer Electronic Publishing Show in Chicago at McCormick Place. And I had my own booth, and all these companies that wanted to try to sell their stuff, they said, "Try this out." And so there was like the Wacom tablet, the first tablet with a pen where you can draw, and it was huge, and they went, "Keep it." And then there was something called Radius TV, which had a video signal into it, so you can have live television that you could like stop and have a graphics program do things to it. And then there's the printer, and so everyone said, "Keep it, keep that." And I want to tell you, I had double monitors from Radius. These monitors were $8,000 each. So I took home just by the
Share of, hey, this guy's helping us. Here you go.
Yeah. So here's a good story for you. So years later, I had been at a show, and there was IBM, and they had something called an IntelliStation there. It was a pretty powerful computer, 1995, and they had CNC machines. There was like, you can input something where if you had an object, it had a needle and it pressed down to plot points, and then it came out. It was a 3D model. And then if you had balsa wood or you had some sort of material, it would cut it out, and you can have a prototype. This is 1990.
Well, it's sounding like you're 3D printing things. It sounds like, and that's what so you are always you were always ahead of the time.
Beyond.
That's awesome.
So the thing, before I lose track of what I'm trying to tell you, so this machine did everything, and I had seen it at a fair, and I went up to IBM and I said, let me ask you a question. I said, I got the contract to do the official Disney Millennium image for Disney. Let me ask you a question. What computer do you think I should do it on?
This one.
And they said, come back, and we'll take you to dinner, and we'll give you the machine. And they gave me the fastest IBM machine with the fastest chip and the fastest everything. And I brought that home, and I made the Disney Millennium image, which was sold in every store on the campus.
If you don't mind, I want Eric to take a note of this. Maybe you can send that to me, a picture of it, so I can display it. Do you have it by chance?
The IBM IntelliStation. It was, well, I have the Disney image. Of
yeah,
course,
yeah, just yeah. I want to.
About the,
yeah.
Yes, I do have it.
Perfect.
But I do have to say that the machine was so heavy and so big, and it became a dinosaur after a while. So
Yeah.
I let it go when I moved. That's like one of the only things that but I have my original Amiga computers. I mean, I had everything. The Atari system.
Yeah.
I had an Atari.
Oh, wow.
Atari TT that came out. I had everything. I was always the first at everything.
Wow.
When it came to technology, and not afraid.
Yeah.
People said, are you a computer science person? Are you an engineer? Or you said, no. I mean, I find this very difficult to do because I am not computer savvy.
Yeah, I mean,
don't have a handle on it.
I was gonna say, I mean, people go to school for years to do, computer engineering. I just had a programmer in here today, and he was telling me, oh yeah, I like it because it's more math and science, and I don't really talk to anybody. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like Laurence. And then now it makes sense because you are asking the questions. You're the one that's not afraid to read the instructions. You're like, instructions, okay,
Right.
I'll look at it, but I'll also take my own approach to it.
Well, that's a perfect segue. I'll tell you why. Because, now I am the global brand ambassador for RoboHood, and that is the robot that paints. And I have to tell you, they said, Laurence, and they're Russian, and they said, Laurence, please, here's the manual, and please read it when you make your stuff. And it's been rather interesting, and that's an interesting part of the story because it tells you how much paint and how much water. You have 10 wells that you have to put the paint in. And you have to have the certain right amount of water and the certain right amount of this, and you can make a beautiful, smooth painting. And it's like, I don't want to do that. I want the paint to be thick. I want it to go on there like it's like an impressionist. So when the paint goes on, you can have some texture. You can have it too. And the other thing is, of course, is that you have to match the color. Like if there's a yellow, you match the yellow. Yeah. And who's to say you can't take the yellow out and put red?
Exactly.
So you can break. So the idea about art to be successful is to break every rule there is. But you have to know what the rules of the game are in order to break them.
I love that. That's going to be a clip. I'm definitely taking that because you're right. I mean, you're reading these instructions. You could put less water, more, so it's denser, and then
Yes.
you could change. You can make all different shades of red. It doesn't have to be, and then that really adds. Yeah, it's a robot painting, but you are the one that's giving it the supply.
The robot is there to do whatever I tell it to do. It's that simple. People say, "Oh, so you're pressing a button?" I said, "No, I'm not pressing a button. The robot is reacting to what I tell it to do." There's a small, medium, and large brush, and after, let's say, by the way, a painting takes 14 hours to make one painting.
By the robot?
Roughly. I mean, it varies, but that's about a usual, right? Wow. So it tells you, okay, it finished the thick brush, now to do the middle brush. So it starts with the thick, the middle, and then thin brush. But that's what they tell you. Who's to say that the whole painting can't be painted with a thin brush?
There are.
You see, so you can break every rule that there is, and that's up to you to decide.
I was gonna say the amount of combinations that you can make, and that's the beauty.
Right.
That is why art is art.
That's why art.
And that is why that robot, no matter that he's physically painting, you are the brains behind it. You are the one putting all of that extra. You're like, oh, I bet you didn't know that these colors actually really do work together.
Correct.
And I just made that known, right?
Right. That's
all right. So talking about these innovations and all of these things, and so you've done some amazing projects.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite one?
Well, I have to say the Absolute ad is a really great one.
The Absolute ad?
The Absolute Gartel for Absolute Vodka that was on the back of 300 million magazines. That's probably the biggest thing, and that was in 1991. So they never did a digital art ad before. They had Warhol did the first, and then they had other artists doing certain things, but they never had a digital person. And I said, I can deliver an image that will blow everybody's mind. And it turned out to be the longest running ad in the history of the campaign. It ran for 10 years.
No way.
From 91 to 2001. And it ended with, unfortunately, September 11th on the back of Art Forum magazine.
Oh, wow.
But the ad itself, and people can look it up, certainly they can go online and type in Absolute Gartel and see what we're talking.
Well, we're gonna put it up on the screen so everybody can see. But yeah.
Yeah. So people would say, dude, and it might be in the Warhol book, the ad actually.
Over here, okay.
In that one. But people said, dude, do you realize that the ad is out of focus? And I said, that's the whole point. If you drink enough vodka, that's what it looks like. And the executives and the ad agency said, that's the most brilliant thing I've ever heard. The bottle was completely pixelated. I used the pixelation for the purpose of, and then the background is all like crazy colors and stuff like that. And I appropriated my own art, which is called Moe's Ocean, which was a piece that was shown in the Museum of Modern Art. It's 324 individual Polaroid photographs of the monitor shot with a SX70 camera. And I tweaked out my own artwork and I put it in the background. I said, well, if you drink and you're like so much, you feel wobbly, and that's what the background feels like. They went, oh my God, that's the most brilliant ad. So it was in the back of Art in America, Art Forum, Sotheby's, Wired, New York Magazine, Art and Auction, Art and Antiques. It was everywhere.
It's unbelievable. And the more I'm sitting here just infatuated, but I'm like, wow, this is like you're doing so, and it's almost, you're just so casual about it. You're just so like, yeah, I just casually am on 300 million, like crazy. Yeah. That's all. And then, you know what? I need to just, because this is something that I'm really excited to talk about. And this is a little jumping of gears, but
yeah,
I did some research on you, and I heard that you taught Andy Warhol how to use his first.
There's the book.
Yeah. And so right here we have this book. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit more about it, but I want to know what that was. I mean, so you can hear a little bit. I told you I'm a musician. I play drums.
Yeah.
Well, are you familiar with like marching band and well, we did a show an Andy Warhol show on all of his art and just displaying and so that's why I saw that and I was like, wait, Laurence taught him how to do, so can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I had met him at Studio 54 because, everyone went there.
Yeah.
And we struck up a conversation. He said, I got the commission to do Debbie Harry's album cover. Can you, maybe you can help me, work it out? I said, sure, I'll show you. So I brought the computer. I showed him how to use Deluxe Paint and basically go through the program, and
Just
then we there's a video camera. You put a picture there, and that's how you input it into that program. And so he, picked up a couple of tips, but really had no clue because he was not a digital artist. It was like the art doesn't happen by itself. That's always the thing that people think, oh, using a computer, you could no, what it does is it allows you to make so many possibilities. And I'll segue to my new book called Obsession, because what this book really is involved with is Andy made Marilyn Monroe, different iterations of that. He also did iterations of Mao. And today, using technology, you can take that face and manipulate it so many ways, which is what this particular book is about. But you can also put it in circumstances like that face could be like in a hair salon in 1950, or it could be like that person could be going skiing in Switzerland, or so you can take something and put it in all different kinds of scenarios. You're not just subjected to taking the image and recoloring it a different way.
Yeah.
You can do so much more dynamic stuff. And that's what this book is about.
Wow. And
you
where?
See it?
Yeah. Let me see. Let's see this
Take a
brand new book. Let me look through
Go
this.
through it.
Sucker. Wow. Look at this. So this is being released. So this book
This book is just. It was made literally last week.
Wait. Oh my gosh. Can you see? Yeah. Look at.
And look at the details.
Wow.
Look at the details within the picture.
Oh my goodness. And this is the same.
Yeah, same image.
Look, this one has a cat on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But I mean.
But
wow.
that's the idea. This one has a little cat over here.
Oh my gosh.
So that's for you to find. It's almost like Where's Waldo? The different incarnations that somebody could potentially make using.
Wow, Laurence, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Valentine's, look at that.
Yeah.
Nice little heart. I mean, think. And now, who is this? Is this woman someone particular?
No.
No. Okay, I was just wondering because.
No.
Wow, look at that.
But we're flipping back. Look at this as a Egyptian princess.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. It can transform into so much more. Technology is so far advanced.
Wow. And I love that you have these quotes. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. Ernest Hemingway. He's actually one of my favorite artists.
Well, these people inspire. They created great things, and
just like you. You're an inspiration to so many. Young artists that have been looking for new inspiration. You are the original influencer, but also just the inspiration to the beauty of art because you see it in such a magical way. Looking at what you're doing. Were you taught? Did it just come to you? That's where my thought. I guess, with me being a musician, my dad's taught me, and I found that passion from playing. But with you, where did that passion really spark?
Well, it all started when in my family home in the Bronx, where my father was a painting contractor in New York City, and he painted hotels, garages,
really,
all sorts of things like that. And he used to get up at 5:30 in the morning and get his he said the roller has to hit the wall at 10 to 7. And he quit at 3 o'clock. And by 8 o'clock, he was in bed. And he did that for about 40 years.
Same thing over
And over. He
Just-
dropped cottage cheese in the dog's bowl. I mean, it was just so repetitive and all of that sort of stuff. So on Sundays, he liked to play music. He had a record collection better than anybody else. And on the coffee table were books of Toulouse-Lautrec and Renoir, Degas, Van Gogh, Monet, Manet. And these books came from the Museum of Modern Art. I'm sorry, the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I looked at these books, and by the way, of course I still have them.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh,
Of course I still
Good.
have them. And so I said to myself at about, I would say 8 to 10 years, probably 10 years old, I said, you know what? I was so arrested by this work. And I said, it's probably a 99% impossible task to become a great artist like this. But what am I here for? I am here to take on the challenge. This was a 10-year-old child saying this. It's going to take me a lifetime. And the interesting thing about my saying that is that it didn't take me a lifetime. I was in the Museum of Modern Art before my 25th birthday because I was so determined and nothing was going to stop me. I have literally been obsessed. And that is what the title of that book is about. Being obsessed with a goal and staying on that goal no matter what, no matter who gets in your way, the million rejections of whatever. But I have to tell you something, Ben. The interesting story about that is that when I went to the Pell School of Art at 10, I had formal training, and the whole goal was to build a portfolio so that I could enter into the High School of Music and Art in Harlem, which is the famed high school that they made the movie about. So I was accepted. And I went to the High School of Music and Art from 1970 to 73. And I was sloppy. And I said, Laurence, how are you ever going to fulfill that goal? Because I love the work of Roy Lichtenstein. The lines and the dots were so perfectly painted. And I was sloppy. And I said, I don't know how to do that. And then I went on to the School of Visual Arts. I went for photography in a very unique way because I started in painting, but I saw photography as a way to manipulate images. And I thought that was like something that could possibly work for me. And I love the work of Jerry Uelsman, who made these multiple and larger photographs. And my high school sweetheart went to the University of Buffalo, and I said, if I don't follow this girl, she's gonna like hook up with the the football star, the quarterback. I better get my ass up.
Gotta
there.
get over there.
Otherwise
Hey,
it's gonna be
stay
too
ground.
late. It'll be too late. So that's where I applied. I stopped going to visual arts for a semester, and I signed up to go to University of Buffalo. They wouldn't accept me, so I went to Buff State. And that's where I sat in the back of the classroom watching this Charlie Chaplin movie, and a guy taps me on the shoulder and says, we have a place that can do stuff like that. And that's where I went to Media Study Buffalo, and that's where I met Nam June Pike, and I said, this is my future. The future is in electronic imaging. And that's when I tell you I was 19 years old. So there's a moral to the story. First one is always follow love.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
And
say.
Love rewarded me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me and her.
And so
We're
my next-
still friends to this
Okay,
day.
okay, good.
Still friends to this day. And she comes to all my openings and what have you with her husband. And they're more than welcome to come and all of that. But, you never forget these things.
Of course, and that
You can't forget people.
I was going to say, your words, I think, are going to really help a lot of struggling, people that are lost, people that might be like, oh, this is not, oh, I'm in my field. It doesn't always work out, but something will. There will be a way if you just believe. And that's what, I mean, I kind of talked about in the beginning of the show, was about believing in yourself, about believing in the mission. And you know what's really interesting about Been There, Done That is I do these beginnings like almost not knowing where the intro is going to go, but it always ends up relating to my guest somehow. And this was a perfect believe in yourself. You believed in yourself from the start and said that you had a goal in mind, and you're like, I don't care how I get to it, but it's going to happen. You're 25 years old and you have made it in magazines all over the world, like unbelievable. Now, do you ever get a chance to like sit back and just be like, wow, I've done so much? Or you just continue like...
I don't even think like that, because, you know, like the other day I was here in Boca and they had this musician. I was at a concert for Brian Hyland, and he sang the song "Sealed with a Kiss."
You went. I was supposed to go. They gave me tickets. I was supposed to go. I
went.
Oh, was it nice?
Well, I'll tell you. So as soon as I walk in, I see an old friend of mine, Dr. K, and I believe she was here with Sharon. I think Sharon did a podcast with Dr. Kalia.
Yeah. Oh, Mama. Yes, Mom. Yeah.
And I knew her from like 20 years ago.
Oh,
and
nice.
when I saw her, there's such an incredible picture taken by her videographer and photographer of her and I embracing. And I told the videographer, I said, let me tell you something. That's one of the best pictures ever taken, certainly of me. And Mama looks amazing. And why? Because we're embracing each other. And there's so much warmth in the photo. You can see it. And, you know, there's no like, you know, all the lines are blurred. I mean, there's so much like racism in this country and all this stuff. And you look at that picture and there's none of that.
I love it.
It is such a beautiful, endearing picture of two people that, you know each other and are giving each other warmth. And it's a beautiful thing. Anyway, so she was at that concert.
I love that.
And it was great. It was great.
I'm glad. I let Brian know because I've done some content for him here. I've gotten him.
Okay.
He's actually asked me to play drums for him before,
Oh my God,
and I was like,
great.
Whenever you need a drummer, let me know because I'm there.
I think that's.
It would be pretty cool.
Well, his song is, you know, I mean, that song is over 60 years old. I mean, it's ingrained in everybody.
Everything.
It's just such a beautiful, you know.
And he came in here and he sat down and he's a natural. He was like, yeah, if you guys want to have some good laughs and enjoy a good show and hear what it's like to be on tour. And he did one take. He's like, yeah, I'm good. He was just, that's it. And it's like, you know, I've worked with Tony Orlando before. He's been in the studio. Brian Hyland, a couple of Four Seasons. What I want to say is, I do believe I'm an old soul. I like.
I think you are.
I like all music, but not just that. Is I like to listen, and I really think that's important when speaking. Listening is just as important.
Listening is senior to everything.
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't here, I'd be listening, honestly. I mean, you asked me to come to speak, so I'm speaking. But that's not really my thing, is really to listen, because you learn a lot if you listen.
I agree. And now we're going to kind of get wrapping up, but I have a couple questions that with being so, I guess at the time when you were, all this digital art is new, and you even spoke on people were judging and people were, how did you go about, did you just not care? You just said, I don't really care about what you think. I'm going to, I mean, well, it worked.
Here's what I did. So I, without like email or anything, I got in touch with the people, and I was the keynote speaker of the first Pan-Pacific Computer Conference in Melbourne, Australia. And so I went there, And as soon as I got off the plane, I said, painting is dead and the future is electronic communication. They said, hold on a second. Can you say that again? And I said, yeah, painting is finished. And the future is really in the electronic movement. And they put me on the front page of the Australian newspaper, which is like the New York Times, with an article larger than the Prime Minister. So I would just, it's like
Your face just like
I don't want to
yeah.
I don't want to say that I'm Jesus, because I'm far from that. I'm just a man walking the earth and like having certainty. That's the point. Certainty plays a very big role in knowing, that I know. And knowing that I do know, I'm able to go out there. I've spoken I've had an exhibition in Moscow, and I just had 3 shows in Forges-les-Eaux, France, and I unveiled my documentary film there, and I released this book, which is in English, French, and Russian. So that's like, brand new. And the idea is to always keep going. And so, before wrapping up, you want to say, okay, so what do you do? What's next? What are you doing and all that? Well, while I was here doing so much stuff, I was part of New York Fashion Week with a series of artwork called Creationism. And the models are holding, it's on my Facebook page, the models are holding my artwork and walking down the runway. Think about this. It's an exhibition and a
that's
fashion show.
crazy.
Could you imagine? This is like a new way to like present.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're and by the way, the girls happen to be gorgeous, and so were the gentlemen. So it was like a really good-looking mix.
And then they're just holding they're holding yours.
Please look on my Facebook and my Instagram. So that's it. So what is this all leading to?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say this is. Go ahead. What is this all leading to?
This is all leading. I have to whisper it. Okay.
Okay.
I really can't really say yet, but this is all about this artwork. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I have to.
All right.
Going to the moon. I said it.
Are you serious?
The artwork, creationism, is going to the moon.
And have you told anybody this yet?
I just whispered it here.
Guys, that's never been done before.
It has not been done before. It has not been done before.
And you just revealed it on Been There, Done That.
Been there, done that.
It's now, you can officially say it's been on the moon and it's done that.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome, Laurence. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How does that even go? How do you even?
That's a long
okay.
That's a story for another future podcast. But I will tell you, this summer I'll be speaking at the Creativity Conference in Reykjavik, Iceland. So you'll see me there this summer.
Wow. Okay. All right. I just got chills. Laurence, this has been an incredible... I mean, so where do you... Okay, so we've got this Obsession book here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If we can see... Yep, we got Obsession here.
Yeah.
That's the new book.
Right.
This one here... Oh, this one here. Sorry,
Just
Eric.
made.
This one was the older, right? I mean,
Older being like, last month?
oh, so it's not even... That's so funny.
I mean, it's a little on the beat up side, only because this is my copy to carry around and show people.
Funny.
And obviously, I've shown it because it's like, it's getting beat.
I was like, oh, this is like 2 or 3 years for you. You're like, no.
A few months old. Look at the amount of work that's in this.
Wow.
Painting. I mean, come on, this is unbelievable. With the robotic paintings, these are robotic paintings that I sent to Russia, and they painted them there, and they put the artwork in front of the building that it was.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Could you imagine, like, here's this painting in front of this building, and the building is in the painting?
That's incredible.
It's conceptual art.
So give me 5 places where your art is that people may not know
Okay, it's in the Smithsonian Institute of the Museum of American History.
That's really cool. That's a accomplishment.
Okay. How about the Victoria and Albert Museum, the V&A in London?
What?
How's that?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay, and you want another one? How about the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris, France? And it's been there since 1978, by the way. That's a long
time. 1978 to have an artwork be framed on display.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable, Lawrence. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. You're just like, nah, it's casual. It's just another Tuesday.
I was in the Long Beach Museum of California, and I've been in, I came here because I was given the entire, now I have to preface it by saying it was not the size that it is now, but I came here because I was given the entire Norton Museum to have a retrospective in 1991.
That's good.
And then it went to the Selby Gallery at the Ringling School of Art after that, traveled over there. So that was a really groundbreaking show. And this was before the digital camera was even around.
That's what's blowing my mind. You're doing these projects that and then I even saw, didn't you do a Grammy? What about that?
Excuse me. I'm sorry, I forgot. I created the official artwork for the 57th Annual Grammy Awards, which means that I physically wrapped the Grammy statue that is on the third floor of the Grammy Museum, but it was on the cover, it was the poster, it was the invitation, it was the announcement. It was everywhere.
Do you guys understand who's in the studio, right? Who's on Been There, Done That? I don't think you guys understand. And this is another thing that was what. So Lawrence is actually holding. Can we go to the wide shot really quick? Lawrence is holding up these. I mean, as you can see, we got one over here. There's one behind him. They might look familiar to you. They definitely look familiar to me. I was telling him, look at. So it's a abstract piece of.
Yeah, it's called Shishibo, shape-shifting box.
Shishibo.
And it was sold in Target, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, 3,800 independent stores, and the #1 selling toy puzzle on Amazon.
Can you get, I remember, we can go back to, single shots, but this toy, I remember with my family, we went to in a shop in Maryland. It was like a toy shop, and I remember this woman was like, "Oh, look, we just got this in, it's a new, and I'm sitting now with the creator.
Yeah,
what?
And not only that, I think my name is on the puzzle here. It's on here somewhere. Wait,
I see it right. Oh no.
Wait. This could be the.
I was gonna say. I mean, there's a bunch of different.
No, it's definitely. Then you can turn it into a tetrahedron ball also. And break it up, and it's hours of playing and fun, and here it is.
It's good for my fidgeting. I fidget all the time.
There's my name over there.
Yeah, there it is. How do you say it again?
Shishibo.
Shishibo.
Shishibo, which stands for shape shifting box.
I'm going to be playing with this all day long.
It's unbelievable.
Very, very cool.
You have so much fun with it. So that was done during COVID, and it's still out there. It's still being played with. And if you go on Instagram, you see all sorts of people. They get addicted to it.
Oh.
And what happens is they buy like a dozen of these the same design, because they build these beautiful structures out of it.
Oh, because you can combine them.
Yes,
I'm assuming.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Of course. Here, hold on. Let's see what we can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what kind of abstract art can we make on the spot?
On the spot. Let's see what we can make.
We've got a artist at his craft right here.
And by the way, doesn't this break the notion of what digital art is?
It does.
Now it's sculptural.
Now it's wow.
So it's many firsts.
You are.
You got to think literally, no pun intended. You got to think outside the box.
That was a pun intended. That was a intended pun right there.
That was an intended pun. I have to say, I lied. It is an intended pun.
Oh
Oh my God.
Laurence,
My
I'm
God.
having so much fun with you right now. I was gonna ask you, so where do you create all this?
Well, Ben, I created in my studio in Fort Lauderdale. And
Oh, so you have your own like what do you call
Yeah.
it? An art studio?
yeah, yeah. And as a matter of fact, I think I'd like to invite you.
I've never been to an art studio before.
Well, that's something you haven't done. And afterwards, you can say, been there, done that.
Yes, that is our goal here with this show, Laurence. I would be honored to come
I'd love
to
to
your. I would love to come and see where your place of work is,
Yeah.
and see. I mean,
Yes.
is the robot there?
The robot is there. We'll have the robot painting when you're there.
Ah,
You tell me when you want to come, and we'll make an arrangement, and I will make sure that the robot is doing its job.
oh my gosh! All right, well, all right.
That's something very exciting to see.
I'm floored. All right, so real quick, guys. I told you to stick to the end of this episode because you're not going to want to miss this. We're going to go jump over to Lawrence's studio, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Laurence, what's the name of the studio?
The studio's called Laurence Gartel Studio.
All right, we're heading to, give me that wide shot. We're heading to Laurence Gartel's studio. We'll be right back.
What's up, you guys? Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to see Laurence Gartel at his in-studio his art studio, right? So this is going to be crazy. He has a robot. The robot's going to be painting when we get in there. I am so excited. I got Dan with me, cameraman. He's on it. We are so pumped for this episode of Been There, Done That. You guys are going to love this one. What's up, you guys? I told you, Laurence, didn't I tell him you told him. You told him that we were gonna come and you were gonna show me your studio. And guess what?
Yeah.
We're here.
You're there.
We're here. You made it. Like that, right? So where are we? Can you tell me a little?
Well, yes, we are in 1310 Art Galleries, and there are 37 studios here.
Okay.
And I was actually on the waiting list for 5 years. And then one day I got a phone call and they said, we have some spaces open and we'd like you to come. I said, that's great. So the point of them calling me is the fact that they made 3 calls prior and they didn't pick up.
And then you just were the
And
you
I
were
was,
the part
I
of
was
it?
the 4th person on the list.
That's awesome.
And the rest is history, and here I am.
Sweet. Well, as you were taking me through this, I mean, I've seen beautiful artists, beautiful art all around.
Yes.
I do have to say something though.
Yeah.
When I got into this quarter, there is so much more.
Yeah.
Listen, beautiful. That's what we do. Laurence Gartel. That's why you're on the Been There, Done That. So,
Exactly.
can you take me a little tour? Can I just?
Absolutely. My pleasure. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to actually take you in my hallway, and the hallway represents art that I created for events and situations all over the world. For instance, here we are in Russia, the Face exhibition, and this is at Gallery Zoom Harnisch in Switzerland.
Oh God.
And over here you have artwork from Bremen, Germany, from Wiesbaden, Germany.
My eyes go. Since I'm a musician.
Yeah,
I know.
right there, baby.
That's
it.
that's
the
something
official 57th annual Grammy Award poster, invitation, VIP ticket. It was everything. And the Grammy statue's on the 3rd floor of the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles. You can go visit it. People do. They take pictures of it. It's there.
What was it like? What was it like to? I mean, well, you have so many staples. What's your most proudest?
Someone asked me that yesterday.
Oh, really, man?
Like what? No, that's okay. I mean, it's an obvious question. They would say like, what, what's most memorable, CEO? What is most, whatever. When I was before my 25th birthday, I was in the Museum of Modern Art, and so that was a goal that I had for myself, and I made it happen.
That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable, and I actually have the piece that was in there.
Oh, are we gonna be able to see that?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
So you're gonna, it was on loan to them, and I got it back. And then I've consequently shown a couple more times with the Museum of Modern Art with some very avant-garde work in the 80s and in the 90s, you know? So, you know, what happens is most of the time an artist, they follow a path, they stay in a niche, they stay in a lane, and they don't deviate from it. And obviously, you can see my work is absolutely global. No two pieces are alike. It's not like if you see a Roy Lichtenstein, Andy Warhol, this one, and a breed.
the diversity in each of these pieces. But the thing that
it's me.
that's what I was gonna say. It's incredible. You have a mark, and you can tell. Oh, this was done by Laurence Gartel.
Yes.
But you also think of all the people. Like, oh, you know, with the artist that you mentioned, they have to like that specific piece. With yours, you could be like, oh, you don't like this one? Well, I have something totally different. And they're like, oh, you're the same artist, the same piece?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's unbelievable.
The first one, the first of an edition of Whatever Happens Now,
Yeah.
which was, this was September, November. So this was the first book, 340 pages in English, French, and Russian because of the Russian connection with the robot. So that's that, that's a whole nother story. About telepainting, I created artworks here. Let's say, for instance, there's a building. Let's call it the Kremlin, for lack of a better term, okay? So there's the Kremlin. I create the art here. I sent the image to St. Petersburg, Russia, and guess what? There's a robot there, and the robot painted it there. Then they took the painting, if you can understand this, and put it in front of the building, in front of the Kremlin. So it was created here, painted there, and they took the image, put it in front. This is a very interesting concept. I call it telepainting.
Wow.
But guess what? Let's say there's customs, all right? What customs?
Is you're sending a painting?
I sent an image. I sent the X and Y. I mean, I sent a JPEG.
Wow. It's almost like you're faxing, but now.
Correct.
But now it's art.
Correct.
That's good. That's really cool.
So that's kind of like, you know, that kind of goes with, you know, that kind of concept. Okay, I'm going to try to hire Parma. I had my show in Italy in 2023. I went to Japan because of the Globus Foundation, gave me a lifetime achievement. I went to Tokyo, had a show in Venice, in Catini Gallery in Venice. And this, of course, was the film, my documentary made by Roberto De Soni. Came here, we shot a week here, we shot a week in New York, and then he went out and he interviewed the director of the Grammy Museum to talk about the Grammy statue. And so we showed the film November 2nd here in Fort Lauderdale, but it was actually, the world premiere was in France during that time. So I showed it with French subtitles. I was the official artist for the Newport Jazz Festival.
No way.
And 2015, that was off of the heels of the Grammy statue.
There we go.
There we go. Then I had a show last, look how time just goes. It's already almost going to be, it's a year and a half since my show at the Agnes Nord Gallery in Paris.
In Paris?
Yeah.
Wow. So you travel all over. You were in Paris, Italy.
Now look at this. So I can't believe the official artist of the 50th anniversary of Woodstock. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen?
It didn't happen. Michael Lang died, and he didn't he had 50 years to organize it. I was the official artist. It never happened. So that is the only version of it. I can't show it. I can't really, but here it is. You can.
That's a bow down moment right there.
Oh
my gosh, Woodstock. I mean, I wish that. Hey, you still got something, but
well, if it could have been, it would have been and better.
It's
the official artist of Woodstock.
I mean, but you have. Hey, that's good enough proof right there. So
I have it. I have it.
All right, guys, we're about to go.
We're gonna go into the studio.
Wow. I like the vibe. Ooh, we got some little house music going on.
House going on.
Start doing a little shuffling, maybe. This is cool. Look at this place. Oh, you got more art in here.
Yeah, baby.
Very cool. Wow, Lawrence. So this is where the
Welcome
magic
to the studio.
This is where the magic makes?
happens. Yes, 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 yes. And I'll show you something that most people have not seen and probably will never see. This needs to go to auction very soon.
Oh, wow, that's a axe.
And
That's a Laurence Gartel axe.
That's a Laurence Gartel axe. You know why? I'm chopping up the art world.
I love it. I was trying to think of something that's the best. He's chopping it up.
I am chopping up the art world, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to let you do this, okay? This is for you.
No way. Oh,
I'm going to let you hold the axe. Okay? There you go.
I have the power.
You do.
Wow, this is amazing.
That's a real axe. It's Priman's axe.
Wow. All right, take this away from me. That was too much power. Now, all right, so I see a theme up here on the top.
Yes, you do. These are the robotic paintings.
These are the robotic paintings, all these ones up.
And it's a merge of like a couple of different things. Like I did new, I call it hyper techno paintings here, but I channeled Claude Monet when I went to Claude Monet's gardens, and I started to do an impressionist series. Changed it all up. I became Claude Monet.
Claude Monet.
Look, that's in his house. That's inside Claude Monet's house. And the water lilies.
Yeah, water lilies, as she knows, the water lily, beautiful.
The Beaux-Arts Museum, that's the bottom of a big giant frame over there. Wow. But then you got all of this magic over here where that's a blueprint, that's a one-off, that's 1979.
Now, I'm sorry, but I do have to, my eyes have shifted and
Yes.
I can't take them off of it
shift.
because what?
Shift away.
We've got something right here that is this what we've been talking about?
Well, that's the robot.
This
This is what it is. So basically the computer is here. It's set up here, the image is here. It sends it to the robot. The robot has these wells of paint, and it takes a brush in its thing here. And actually, I wonder, this would be interesting. It's not on, but I wonder if yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Okay. So the brush connects to the robot, and then when everything's operational, it goes into these wells and it chooses the paints and it dips and it paints. And then 14 hours later, you get a painting.
That's really cool. You know, when you were talking about it, I really didn't know what to, this is revolutionary because you can
100%.
literally program this.
Yeah.
But you still get to put your art into it because you're what? Choosing the colors,
Well, wait a second. Everything is about me. Why? Because you choose what brush to use.
Yes, yeah.
The thickness of the paint, the colors, and let's say it says, okay, these are the 10 colors. Well, who's to say that you can't take, one of these out and put another one in its place?
Of course.
So
Like in the middle of it, right?
Like in the middle of it, right, exactly. So there's no, like when I first, started working with the company, they said, listen, here's the manual, please read it. And I said, okay. And if you break all the rules, you get stuff like this.
Wow.
Everything else that you see, like look at these things over here.
No, you this is unbelievable. When you said you had a painting robot, you were not.
No,
that's
it.
You have an actual painting robot. Now, can I? All right,
Yeah,
this
go
might
ahead,
be.
please. No, go ahead. Yes,
How
go
much
ahead.
is
The robot's 20 grand.
a robot's 20 grand?
Yeah. But then the painting's 25,000. So I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then this is priceless. There's,
I mean, if you want the robot, go ahead. But the painting is 25,000. All of these are 25,000 each.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know. While you're here, I may raise the price, but you just sang.
Hey, you might get a deal if you listen to the whole episode.
That's it. That's right. So what I'm about to show you is very special, okay? This is my first exhibition card of my first show ever. And I tell people I never had a job in my life, okay? But I did. And what I did was I worked in a health food store.
Oh,
And I worked there to make enough money so that I could buy frames for this show. And once I did, I said, I quit. Now, here's what's fascinating. So here's the card.
uh-huh.
Okay, what year is it?
1974.
74. 18 years old. My first exhibit. And the famous artist Louise Nevelson, who did these black constructions, her show was at Panora's Gallery as well on 56th Street in New York City. This wasn't like in some freaking hole in the wall. This was a legitimate gallery in New York. Now, you're not going to believe this. So as I said, this was my first show in New York City. Right?
First show, 18 years old.
18 years old. But guess what I have? I have the price list of the painting.
Oh, that's so cool.
$80.
Look at the papers, too.
$90. Look, one was really super.
$125.
$125.
Wow.
I thought this was a big deal. Could you imagine like trying to sell a painting now for $90? It's not happening.
And I was also going to say,
Huh.
to see the skill, you're telling me these are $25,000.
Yeah, but
And you started at
90 bucks.
90 bucks.
yeah. 8, I think there's one here for 80. 75.
75. We have a $50.
$50 one. Oh my God, but here's the beauty of this. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Let him go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the bathroom.
Let's go to the bathroom.
Let's go check.
Because the bathroom also is an art gallery.
No way. Of course. Well, I mean, what else would we think? We're going to we're in Laurence Gartel's bathroom. Of course. Wow.
This is one of the paintings in that exhibition.
One of your first,
That's right.
and the frame and everything?
That's it.
Oh, that's cool. Do you remember what that was priced at?
Let's give it an average price of $1.25.
Okay.
$125. 1974.
So that picture is probably
Priceless.
priceless. I was going to say, you can't put a...
I can't put a price on it. I'm not selling it for $5,000. Are you kidding?
Kidding me? That's unbelievable. That's one of the first in his exhibition. This is pretty... I love that. I love that you surround yourself with art.
Yes, I have to have it. I have to have it. And it's also not all mine. You know, like I collect other people's works. There are paintings over there.
Okay. So you were mentioning to me about the Vatican and the Pope and how your art is the purest.
That's what they said, the most beautiful and the purest.
And look at this.
Look, so the Pope Francis
Pope Francis.
blessed the picture of Madonna and LG Child. That's my mother and me. That's me when I was 1 month old.
Wow.
And I made this piece, and Monsignor signed it over here. And Marco Rotundi, who works as an outside person for the cultural ministry of the Vatican, also signed it up at the top.
Unbelievable.
So how this all evolved, I have to say, is because I got in touch with an old art dealer of mine. I hadn't seen her in years and years and years and years. And somehow we got connected, and she goes, I think I have a place for that artwork. I said, you do? She goes, yes. So she made this book, Marilyn Goldberg, the Queen of Art, because Marilyn represented Picasso, Warhol, Keith Haring, and all sorts of people. So she dedicated the book to me, And if I may,
Of course.
indulge you, if I can quickly find it. Yes. Yes, here we are. Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Wow. There it is.
There it is. Laurence Gartel, story,
Angel Boutique right here.
Madonna and Child for Toto Putra, which was the website that you just saw.
Unbelievable.
I mentioned to you about the new book.
Yep.
Here it is. So this is the first book on my artificial intelligence and robotics. It's 340 pages. It talks about the history of how it started only a year before. So now we're in it for about a year and a half.
Wow. You have, so this one came out a year and a half ago.
No, this one came out in September, October. So
Of this year?
Well, 2025. So it's like 6 months
Oh.
old. It's a baby. It's still getting baby food.
Oh, so this, I thought that was the new one.
Well, this is brand new.
Oh, wait.
Well, you know, it's an life's an
I
evolution.
love it. You're coming out. I love it. Yeah.
So
So,
this was in, let's call this September.
okay.
Okay. And then I went up to Orlando. I just got back because I met the fellow who flew in from London. His name is Maxim Yago, who wrote the introduction to the back of this book. This is the brand new book. It's called Obsession because I am obsessed. Everything is an autobiographical. Everything.
Of course.
So here it is. It's brand new. It's 220 pages. And I will be selling all of these things.
Okay.
So they have to come to me. They have to go to Laurence Gartel on Instagram. And then I tell them how to Zelle money. That's it. That's the process.
That's pretty easy. So if you guys watching this want to get more information,
Yeah.
you can DM me and I'll send it on over or
Perfect.
whatever the case may be. But you can get all your stuff. You're Laurence Gartel.
It's Laurence Gartel.
That's it.
That's it.
There's only
Instagram.
one. There's only one, and that's him.
Laurence Gartel. That's it.
Well, Lawrence, I
That's
appreciate
it.
you bringing us into, the entire. We got
You got the show.
the show. We had the entire
Yeah.
Lawrence
Pretty
Gartel
much.
experience. So
Experience. It's an experience. I could have walking tours, I think.
I just want to say thank you, guys.
You're
Thank
so
you so
welcome.
much.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for coming.
I had a great time. Daniel, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for coming in.
Great
and
job.
spending this time with us and capturing it all. We really appreciate you.
And I forgot, we got to go back to the studio, finish up the show. All right, so everybody stay tuned. We'll be back.
Lawrence, holy smokes. That is an insane studio.
I knew you'd love it.
I am blown away. I didn't understand. Honestly, I didn't know that there was going to be that much art there. The robot,
yeah.
what was his name again?
Robbie.
Robbie. What a treat. I've never seen that. I didn't actually understand,
Yeah.
and I don't think people understand until they see that video. Until they see
Yes.
what you are actually doing.
Yes.
And there is art to it.
There's only art.
That's what I was going to say. Lawrence, incredible. How long have you had that studio for?
I've been there about 6 years.
You love it?
I love it. I try not to leave.
Well, I was going to say, you're traveling all over. I know you got you got Iceland coming up.
Yes.
You got all these different
We're
places.
trying to organize 2 shows in Italy, 2 museum shows. And of course, I have a birthday coming up, and I plan on having it in Paris
Wow. When's your birthday?
in June.
June. All right.
Would you like to come and be part of it? Maybe.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. We'll get. Hopefully that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But happy birthday coming up.
Yes.
Last thing I want to say is, if people wanted to get in touch or get a piece of your art, order your book, how can they do it? Where can they get
They
in touch?
could actually, I just tell people to please Zelle me. But besides, that's the best way. As Andrew Pike said, cash and carry.
Yeah, exactly.
Zelle Laurence Gartel, $350 for the for this artificial intelligence book. and 250 for the Warhol versus Gartel. But anyone could reach me through Instagram.
Instagram?
That's probably the best way to send me a direct message, or on Facebook, Laurence Gartel with a U, Laurence. It's the French version of Laurence.
Laurence.
So that's probably the best way, I would say.
Lawrence, again, I can't thank you enough for coming on this show. And honestly, I just had a blast with you.
It's great. And I love your enthusiasm. And I love that you are here with a cause. And that's really important
Thank
to
you.
me.
I think that's my pleasure. I think that's something that I want everyone to take away from this is that's what brings life. Is if you have a purpose, if you are sitting here, having a hard time, go out. Go out and socialize. Go out to a bar. Even just getting out and being outside of these phones. It's hard, man.
It really is. I tell you the truth. And we're all isolated behind these phones. It's just absolutely incredible. And we don't really have very much communication these days like they do. I went to, not that long ago, I remember being in London and seeing all the pubs all over and people like outside and communicating. And, what a wonderful thing to be able to interact with people as opposed to like hiding behind this thing. It's just so,
And it's kind of crazy. You're like, to see it from that perspective because you are around your digital art, right? So people would think you're,
yes.
But at the same time, you'll never get that interact. Like this is something that you can't. It's priceless.
Yes.
You can't put a price tag on this because it's a genuine, a real conversation, and it's
missing that stuff.
We are.
And not only that, I mean, I have to say that I've done for schools around the country and around the world. I have done these talks on these platforms, WhatsApp or whatever it is, and it's not the same as being one-on-one with a person in 3D, and getting their joy and getting their enthusiasm and getting their questions, etc., like that. You miss that when you're you become like a two-dimensional face.
And I'm just gonna, the last thing I'll say to play on that is I have a lot of people that do Zoom calls.
Yes.
Right?
Oh God, yes.
And so think about that from a podcast perspective. I have no idea what you're doing if you're not on the screen or I'm not on this, right? Yeah. Here you can see like, oh my gosh, he liked that I talked about this. Oh, maybe I won't go down this route. When you're on a Zoom call, you have no idea. The person could be uncomfortable the entire time, So this is what I love, people getting out of their comfort zone, coming, sitting down, and having us actually have a great conversation. And Laurence, I will never forget this conversation. This was amazing.
Thank you.
You also don't you have one other thing coming out that we didn't mention?
Well, there's always something.
It's the coloring.
Oh,
yeah, we can't forget about that.
Thank you so much. I'm doing so much. I forget half of the stuff I'm doing. Yes, the next book is going to be a coloring book. And I'll tell you, that was initiated by one of my former high school friends who said, Gartel, you need a coloring book. And she actually has been on me for years.
It would be
something like that. And I said, oh, well, yeah, sure. All right. Eventually, one day, maybe. And all of a sudden, it became something. And I'll just say it like this, because I could talk about it a little bit, because it's not, as you would assume, not your average coloring book. It is a art book to color. Not only that, but it's a history book. And it's a history book about my history. So there are pictures of me when I was a kid. There's pictures of me later on.
Love it.
There are actually my grandchildren. My father was walked down the aisle from his father. So that means my grandfather. And that also means it's my son's great-grandfather and my grandson's great-great-grandfather walking my father down the aisle. And that's an image to color. Can you imagine? Unbelievable.
I mean, I told you when you said that to me, I was like, my when I saw this book, I was like, oh wow, there's so much that you could. Now you're giving the opportunity to your fans, your audience,
Yes.
to be able to also
Interact.
interact.
Yes.
Another way of.
Yes.
It's just you are
Thank
you are a man before. I mean, your ideas, things. It's just so ingenious. I think you're so smart. I'm over here just fanguying over here, just a huge fan of you. And like I told you, even I remember on our conversation, coloring has been in my family. We've done it so much. I mean, like we do painting with a twist every year. We sit down, my family and I. My sister leads. Like, oh, we're going to all build a snowman. And she does the outline, but each of us has an individual, we put our own art to it, right?
Yes.
And so we always do it. We do coloring books. And so it's just a good way, for us to sit down, relax a little, watch a movie, put on some, So this, I can't wait for, when is this coming out?
As soon as I can get it together, which, in my world, what that means is a couple of weeks.
Okay. Love it. Well, Laurence, thank you again. Guys, I hope you got everything you needed to get out of this. And if you didn't, I think maybe you can come back for another episode.
I could come back, but I want to tell you there's a crescendo to this conversation, and I have a gift for you.
Oh.
But I need a Sharpie.
A Sharpie?
Yeah.
I think I got a Sharpie. Let me go see if I got one.
I need a Sharpie.
Hold on 1 second.
Both. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, Sharpie acquired.
Okay, now Ben,
Yes, sir.
we're going to do another first. Okay? I've never done this before.
All right.
Okay? You see your Andy Warhol book over there?
Yeah.
Take, peel it off for a second and kind of go through the pages, if you will. Half of the book is devoted to Andy Warhol's collection. Second half of the book is devoted to me. This was a show at the Lucca Museum in Italy that traveled to 10 different venues afterwards. And
Wow.
so it's a good amount of Andy's work in the front. And then we get to the Gartel point, and rightly so, because Andy was before me. So they put his work there. But then you get to the Gartel
Here
stuff.
we are.
It's like me on the red carpet with
Wow, this is unbelievable.
Britney Spears' tour art, Justin Timberlake's artwork, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've done a bunch of these things. Anyway, what I want to tell you, what your treat is that out of that book, and if you go back a few pages.
So that picture?
Yeah, that picture is in this. It's a double-page spread, and I'm gifting you a double-page spread from the Warhol
You don't have to.
versus
That's-
Gartel.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wow.
So here we go.
Oh, you don't have to do. Oh, that's amazing.
Then
Wow. Laurence, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable.
where are we? We're in Boca Raton.
Yes, sir.
Today's date.
It is the 16th,
What month are we in?
February.
February. We're in 2 already. 2/16. 2026.
Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. Oh, wow. On air. Can you guys believe this? Give me a part from the book and oh my God. Yeah, you meet people. I think everyone on this earth is supposed to meet each other for a reason. And it's incredible the amount of connections that you can do just by being your authentic self and being true. And like, look at this. Me and Laurence are, oh my God, Laurence, thank you so much. Wow. Can I get a picture of that?
I think you should. I think I'd like one too.
I will definitely take one. Oh my gosh. And we're going to do a selfie.
Wow, you're good at that.
Yeah.
All right, now you hold it. I'm going to take a picture of you. Oh, that's great.
Looks good, right?
Oh, that's fabulous.
All right, guys.
Now, you know, Ben, nobody has this.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
who's got a piece out of a book?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
signed by the artist.
I know.
Who's living.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. Okay, wait. Let's. Okay, one more. Like that. Okay. That's fantastic.
Guys, this is look. I feel like my face is hurting because I'm smiling so much. So, Laurence, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show. This is
There's
unbelievable.
artwork on the other side too, no less, of
I know,
course.
but wow.
That's the
Unbelievable.
right out of the book, Ben.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right
Thank
out
you.
of the book.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. This was an incredible episode of a Been There, Done That. I'm lost with words right now. So stay tuned. We got some more. I don't know who's gonna top this, but stay tuned. We'll see you guys on the next one.